What's up? It's your girl Sofia Gutierrez with Arena Football One, and today I'm joined by the one and only Nashville Kats, Antwane Grant. Antwane, how you doing?
I'm good in yourself.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. I like all the gear.
Yes, ma'am.
How are things? You were just in Washington this past weekend. How was
Yeah,
your travel back to Nashville?
the travel was good. It was quick. We got back on Friday. Was able to get some treatment. Um, and then just we have a good turnaround recovery time. So just taking care of bodies and just getting back to it to the grind.
Would you say you prefer home games or away games? Because I would think that you'd prefer home games, but I've heard some people say they prefer away games.
Um, I'm open, honestly. Wherever I can, you know, just show up and show off for the fans. I'm a big advocate of that. So as long as the fans are there, I'm good. Whether it's home, away, they tend to like me, or it doesn't matter where we're not playing. So fans tend to love me. So
hmm Talking about fans, I remember the first couple of games with Arena Football. It was a shock the first game, but after I was like, I love this. I actually prefer this over, 100-yard football just because of the interaction that you have with the fans, with the crowd. Not only does it motivate you, but you're like so up close and personal. How was
yeah,
that transition from football to Arena Football, having the fans right there?
um, I would say it's a huge transition. Fan engagement is a large part of our game that we do. And just being able to interact with the fans before, after, during the game, is always a good thing. I definitely will enjoy bringing my son to the games. When he's at the games, I'll probably score a touchdown, jump over the wall, go give him a ball in the stands, things like that. So it's a great experience. Great experience.
Yeah. Now, scoring a touchdown, I have to talk about the celebration that comes afterwards because you see so many guys getting down, doing a dance. Do you plan your dances or your celebration, or do you just let it come as they come?
Uh, for me, some guys do plan it. We'll talk about it. It's never coordinated. We don't ever like sit there and coordinate it, but we have an idea. And then whatever we just tend to do in the moment, we'll kind of like just go with it. For me, it's again, I'm interacting and engaged with the fans, so that's kind of usually what I do for my celebrations. So
Another big thing that I noticed is, I mean, everybody notices, is the wall. How did you learn to work with the wall? Because you can't avoid it. It's there.
I don't know. I think for me, it's just more so just having just awareness and an IQ of knowing how the distance you have from the wall, from wherever the quarterback throws the ball, and how you run your routes, how you stem defenders up, things of that nature. But just having a good awareness, a good IQ of what's going on, where you're at on the field. But the wall itself, for me, I think it's more so just if I'm gonna hit the wall, I'm going over it. Because the wall is undefeated, so I'm not gonna go try to go through the wall. I'll go over the wall. So it's
Mhm.
fun. It's fun regardless. So
Now you mentioned your son going to the games. How old is he?
he's 10.
Oh,
He's
and does
10
he play
now.
football as well?
He does. He does. He wants to imitate his dad. Yeah, he thinks he's better than me right now. So,
Oh, that's amazing. So I'm sure
yeah,
you work with him as well?
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, well, that's always nice. Now,
Yeah.
I know we're talking about this season, or we're gonna get into how the season has gone, but I wanna get back to where your football journey started. I know you're from Delaware.
hmm
Um, you played in Kentucky as well.
hmm
Talk to me when that spark to play football played, because before we even started rolling, you told me that you were a late bloomer when it came to football.
Yeah. For me, sports has always been like, uh, predominant in my family. But for me, it was just like growing up. I was just I was a fast kid. Racing, I would always like win races and things of that nature. So it started with track and field. Um, the first sport I ever played was track. From track all to running, soccer kind of became a thing. I fell in love with soccer. From soccer, kind of transitioned over to baseball, where hand-eye coordination comes in, and then
And that's
from
kinda
there,
crazy, bro. When you
yeah,
said soccer to football, I was like, "Okay, usually I see soccer players become kickers." Baseball, that's hand-eye coordination. Usually it's like
yeah,
baseball to football, but to go to from soccer to
to
baseball.
baseball,
Yeah.
yeah. So for me, so yeah, so after baseball, it was like one of those things of at this point, I'm probably like 13, 14, and all my friends are playing basketball, playing football. They're not football, they're not soccer and baseball players. So it's just like, I'll go play some sports with you guys. And I mean, honestly, from there, it was just kind of one of those things that just it happened naturally, I guess. And it was just, I guess they would say I was a natural at it. So kind of stuck with it since then.
Question. I played softball growing up, and with softball, the way you hold the ball and you flick your wrist is crucial. But with football, you hold it differently. How was that transition?
Well, me personally, don't ask me because I'm ambidextrous. I throw with my right, shoot with my left. I'm both. Listen, I don't know. I don't know.
You're just an athlete,
I'm just
period.
an athlete. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay. And it wasn't until high school when you got into football.
Yeah, yeah. My freshman year of high school, it was one of my mentors growing up when I was in middle school. He actually transitioned over to the high school that I went to a couple years prior to me going. And when I went over there, he was just like, "Hey, come play football. We need to have you over here." So it's kind of one of those things.
Mhm.
So it
Do
happened.
you Yeah.
I give
Have you
credit to him. I give all credit to him. Honestly, I give all credit to him.
and do you still keep in contact with him?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I actually I was just inducted into my high school Hall of Fame, so he was definitely there at the ceremony and definitely give him his flowers. It was love. It was love.
Oh, that's amazing. I think it's really important for, young kids to have a mentor to not
Yep,
only look up to, but have that guidance to get you to
definitely.
the next level. Because in high school, a lot of kids are still, messing around,
Yeah,
having fun.
yeah.
And if they want to take sport serious and go to that next level, become professionals, you really need someone who's going to keep you in check.
And he definitely helped me bridge that gap. So, you know.
That's amazing. Now, having your son who's 10, do you kind of mentor him or do you have other kids that you like to kind of help out?
Well, I'm a high school teacher in the off season. I do ninth grade science, so of course I'm dealing with all the high schoolers. But my son, of course, he's the mentor, right? He watches me, he sees daddy mentoring, so he's the mentor now. So he even mentors me. He keeps me in check, he keeps me on my toes. So it's all love. Everybody mentors everybody.
Mhm. Now, kids are really honest too. Does he ever say like, "Dad, man, come on, that play, you could have done this or
Oh,
that"?
absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He'll check me. Oh, you're supposed to catch that, daddy. You used to always go ahead and catch it. You gotta catch that. So he keeps me in check. He keeps me on my toes for sure.
Oh, that's funny. Now, I know you
Yeah.
graduated from Western Kentucky 2015,
Yes, ma'am.
2016? Okay. And then you transitioned to the NFL. How was that getting that call and playing with the Bengals?
Oh yeah, that was a great opportunity actually. I'm, forever grateful for the Cincinnati Bengals giving me the opportunity. Having my draft day 2016. It didn't go according I thought I was gonna hear my name called, but it was probably 20 minutes after the draft. The Bengals had called me and my agent, and we signed as a party free agent, and we just went to Cincinnati. So I think the whole experience as a whole, playing with receivers like AJ Brown, Brandon LaFell, being around veteran guys, Marvin Lewis, it was a lot. We had a lot of veterans. We was a stat group that year in 2016, and definitely learned a lot, especially from AJ Green. I definitely learned a lot. Learned how to be a pro, learned how to practice professionally. There's just a lot of good things. So it was a great experience. And then, I think from there, just, soaking up all the knowledge that I could. And I'm still in contact with a couple of guys from the NFL. I think I went to camp went to that year with what, 5 rookies. I think I still keep in contact with at least 3 of them. So it was a tight group, tight group, bunch of guys, and um, it was a great experience. It's a great
Mhm.
experience.
The first time I covered a Super Bowl was when it was here in LA,
Oh,
2021, 2022. I can't remember the years, but it was
yeah.
the Rams versus Bengals, and between you and I, well, now everyone who's watching, I like that fan base is
Oh yeah.
amazing. Crazy in the most amazing way. I was like,
Who
"This
they?
kinda want them to win."
Yes. Who they? That is who they for you. Yes. Every practice, they're out there, they're showing support. It's just love. It's a great city to be a part of. So it was a great experience for me in Cincinnati. Great experience.
Mhm. Now moving on to the CFL, which was where you were at next. How was that transition from going 100 yards, 50 yards?
The only transition I would say with the CFL was again the waggle. Just having a running start. I didn't know what a waggle was, but it gave me an advantage, so I wasn't complaining, right? I'll take a waggle, and then 12 people instead of 11. Um, and then last thing was 3 downs. You get 3 downs instead of 4 downs. So those were the only like differences, the things that stood out to me. Other than that, it was just football. Of course, the size of the field, the end zones were wider, and then here's a caveat: the what is it, the the field goal post
Mhm.
being in the front of the end zone. That was like
Mm.
a new one to me. So it was like you had to it. Okay, so when you actually, so what it was is like the field goal post is like the wall in arena football. You literally have to be aware of where that the field goal post is. And if you have some awareness and IQ, then it made the transition to the indoor game a little easier knowing where the wall is. You just
Mhm.
got to be aware of certain things. So it just helps with our IQ. I think the transition was good in a sense of maturation and understanding and processing things. And I think mentally was the big thing. But again, it was all beneficial.
Mhm. Even comparing, like, arena football to when you played baseball, it's
Yeah.
way quicker pace. I feel like with baseball, it's like, "Okay, if they're gonna throw a ball on the inside, I can hit it to the right, like right field and stuff like that." But how do you mentally stay locked in with so many quick changes in arena football?
Um, I think just preparation, how you prepare, but again, it's controlled chaos. That's what football is, and coach always, preaches to us, and lets us know it's about controlled chaos. As long as you can, because everything's going to be chaotic. It's about how you process it, how you slow it down in your head, and everything. You just got to control chaos, controlled chaos. So for us, it's just kind of like preparation. That's how we prepare.
Mhm. Now, let's get into this season. We just wrapped up with week 6.
Okay.
How has it been getting acclimated with the team, that connection with your QB? Talk to me about that.
It's been a process, honestly. Truth be told, it's been a process. However, we're here. We are where we are, and it's a great opportunity that we have a great opportunity in front of us this season, moving forward. The process itself, though, I would say it's just like any other processes, right? So we're just trying to figure out and see, what pieces fit, who goes where, things of that nature. But again, it's just one of those processes that you just kind of like you take it all in. You soak up what you can from the guys that you meet. For me, we've probably went through a few different pieces of a few different parts, but I think now we have the nucleus of what we want. So I think we're set and we're pretty much set in that regard. But for me, I think the guys that we have here, they're lovely. They're great guys to be around. You can learn a lot from some of the. I'm one of the older guys on the team, but even the younger guys, they have their fair share of experience. So talking to them, hearing stories, and just get acclimated with all the players. I think we have a great group of guys. It's a tight knit unit. This is a tight knit unit.
Yeah, now, Tim asked, "How have you grown as a player since winning Rookie of the Year in 2019 in the AFL?"
How have I grown as a player, Tim? I would say being a veteran, right? Being that whether it's by, action, leading by action or being vocal, definitely vocal, I would say for me is one thing that I definitely stepped up to the plate and I'm more of a vocal guy now. So that's definitely how I made improvements, just always being able to like teach and give back to the younger guys. These guys are coming into the game looking to, get to the NFL, get back outdoors, things of that nature, USFL. So just trying to give them whatever knowledge, whatever jewels that I have that I've, gathered along the way and give back in that aspect.
Mhm. Now, you're saying that you are the vocal guy, kind of, can help rally the guys if there's ever a moment where you guys need to switch it up during the game. But what's been the best piece of advice that you've received when you guys are trying to turn the situation around in a game?
Okay. Uh, when things are high, stay even. When things are low, stay even. So throughout the season, we've had like moments where things were all going good for us, and we have to like come back to reality. This ain't the Super Bowl. Let's stay even killed. And then there's been moments where it's like you feel like your back's against the wall, and then you're just like looking at your brother next to you, and you're just like, all right, it's time to go. We got to stay even. We can't be, because you got low morale, but we have to stay even kill. So I would say that's one thing our offensive coordinator, Coach Payton, always preaches to us. Um, just being even, just stay even. We up, we down, just stay even killed, and we'll be good.
Mhm. Now, one of the first things I asked you was how was traveling, and you said you are back in Nashville
Yeah.
recovering. What do you do to recover? How do you let your body rest and refuel for the next game?
Definitely stay off your feet, right? You want to get off our feet. However, the usual cold tub, hot tub. We want to contrast a little bit. Definitely want to do ice stem. You might do some ultrasound. You might do some treatment. You might do some cupping. You might do some scraping. Just things of that nature. Just a few things, just a few things. But yeah, massages are work too. Normatec, boots, things of
Those
that
are
nature,
fun.
game ready. So yeah. So we have a plethora of resources here up in Nashville. So recovery isn't nothing, right? It's nothing to recover here.
Mhm. That's amazing. Now, you mentioned the off season, you're a teacher, but
Yes,
obviously you
ma'am.
still have to stay active. What are some things that
Yeah.
you like to do to make sure you stay active that is off the field?
Okay. Off the field. Okay. Well, there's not really off the field besides, of course, going to play in basketball again and wrestling down my cousins and my family. But one thing I do, and this is on the field. So I'm a teacher, but I'm a football coach as well. So
Mhm.
I like to lace them up, and I like to let the young fellas know I still got it. Okay, guys. So that's me. That's me. I'm like, I'll talk and teach the guys, let it, but then I like showing, I definitely like
Yeah.
because I train them as well, so I definitely have to show them what the workout is. And oh, coach, you still got it? Come on, I ain't lose nothing, guys. I haven't lost anything. So that's definitely what I like to do. I like to lace them up. Definitely like to lace them up still.
Yeah. Now we got another question by Tim. How has it been being coached by arena football great Darren Arbet?
That's my guy, Coach Arbet. He's a blue collar guy. He's one to definitely coach you hard. His expectation of you is gonna be higher than your own expectation. So I think in that regard is what makes him great himself. Like every day is a grind, with Coach Arbet. It's no days off. He's coming to, he's bringing his lunchbox to work. Like he's ready to work every day. So I think aside from that, it's just a connection that he builds with you off the field. Some people would say he's hard on the field, but when you get a chance to talk to him off the field, he's a great guy. He's a big. I graduated with my degree in business, so he has a business savvy. So talking to him off the field, it's just like he's always looking for ways to improve in life. Always looking for ways to improve in life. So that's one thing I could love. I would say I love about Coach Arbet.
Mhm. Now, going to school for business, if you weren't doing football, what do you think you'd be doing on the business side of things?
Uh, well, I was in marketing for a little bit, so
Okay.
yeah, I was in marketing for a little bit. I did a little bit of that. But I mean, I think for me, my passion was the younger generation and giving back to them. So transition over to education, it was a no brainer for me, coaching and
That's amazing.
teaching. Yeah,
Yeah. Some of my really close friends, they went to school for child development and just
yeah,
they're just so passionate not only about
yeah,
like teaching and being with the kids, but they're really the next generation of who's going to
yeah.
be running this country, and you
Yes,
want to
ma'am.
see them become great leaders as well.
Yeah.
Now, looking back, seeing whatever you've seen, been through everything that you've been through, what's something that you would tell your younger self freshly graduating out of high school? A piece of advice.
Uh, Piece of advice I would say coming out of high school, 18, okay, 17, 18. Take what I would tell myself, take the next 10 years of your life seriously and you'll be a billionaire. If I really could, like, yeah, coming out of high school, I would tell myself, just take the next 10 years of your life seriously and see where you'll be at. Just see where you could be if you took the next 10 years seriously. So,
Now,
great advice.
being a coach, and also a teacher, have you ever had to talk to some of the kids and tell them, like, "Listen, these next 10 years of your life, you gotta take take them seriously, especially if you wanna get to the
Oh,
next level," whether it's play football or whether they wanna be, whatever career path they
yeah.
choose.
So we kind of break it down. That's essentially what we tell them. We just say it in so many words. We say, because I have a mentorship program as well. So when we say take life seriously, career planning is one aspect of taking your life seriously. Budgeting, finances is another aspect, right? SAT score, you got to go to college, you got to go your GPA, SAT score. So things of that nature. When we say take life seriously, we can break that down into so many different, but we sum it all up and we say take life seriously. So definitely, we have through the mentorship program, we definitely like mentor the younger generation to take certain things seriously, whatever they want to do, whatever aspect of life they want to they're intending to head in. We just tell them take it seriously. So
That's
give them
amazing.
perspective. Yes, we're providing perspective for them.
Yeah, well, you've had an incredible journey and it's still not over. I'm excited to continue following your journey. And let me
Yes,
just say
ma'am.
that what you're doing with this next generation is amazing. You are that mentor, just like the mentor that you had. So I know a lot of these kids are going to be thinking of you when they're ready to take that next step in life. So congrats
Yes,
on that as
ma'am.
well.
Thank you, Sophia. Thank you.
All right, one last thing.
Yes.
Why should people tune in and watch the Nashville Cats this season?
Oh, why? Oh, because they got Big Grizz, aka I'm Big Grizz. So they got Big Grizz as well as well as I think we are truly we're the underdogs. There's a lot of people I think that are sleeping on Nashville, but however, I think we're gonna we'll see each week, and you'll see the kind of games that we have. It's gonna be one of those games where every game that we play is gonna be one of those games where you'll be strapped to your seat, see what's going on, what's happening next. So I think us being an underdog, and then us, that's kind of our mentality. We come in and we're just like we're always underdog, and we're scraping. We're at the bottom of the class. So that's I would say you got Big Grizz too, and then you got Big Grizz. You got me.
Yeah. Well, I cover boxing as well, and let me just say that most boxing fans always try to go for the underdogs,
There you
because
go. There you
they
go.
got they got heart.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Well, I'm excited to continue following your journey this season. Thank you for the time for chatting with us, and I will see you soon.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Sophia.
Of course.